Alright folks, welcome back. It is Matthew Wirt, and we are going to do another case in Elite Mode. I'm going to go all the way back to Grimsborough.
In New York City, the dedicated detectives who investigate these vicious felonies are members of an elite squad.
And what am I going to do? Which one will I do? Spring Break Massacre. Good morning, Matthew. Isn't it a beautiful day today? Pity we've got to be here at work instead of lounging in the sun. Sheriff Matthew, I'm glad you're here. King wants to see... Oh, hi, Jones. Ramirez, I told you to stop that. It was an honest mistake. Anybody could have picked the wrong costume. It was just so funny. Ramirez, you're at work. Have a little dignity. What did King want to see us about? Sorry, I'm calm now. I don't know why King wants to see you, Sheriff Matthew, but it sounded pretty serious. You better go see him straight away. Ah, Sheriff Matthew, Jones, glad to see you dressed appropriately today. Oh, great, even the chief knows. Sheriff Matthew, you are needed at the lake. Something horrible has happened there. Oh yeah, it's spring break season, isn't it? But with all due respect, Chief, I know students get a little wild, but I'm not talking about the students drinking too much. A young woman is dead. Oh dear, how did it happen? That's for you to figure out. The girl was identified as Aaliyah Banks, a second-year student. People saw her floating on the lake in a pool of blood. Sheriff Matthew, go to the lake and try to sort this mess out. Oh, and take Ramirez with you. You'll need help to keep students away from the water. Oh, Sheriff Matthew, what are we gonna do? The students aren't listening to me. They keep trying to go for a swim. What if it kills somebody else? It? What in the devil are you on about, Ramirez? The creature of the lake. Don't tell me you've already forgotten about it, Matthew. I know you dealt with the fraud last time, but the creature still exists. Oh, not this again. Ramirez, you stay here and take care of the students. Matthew, are you ready to have a look at the victim? And maybe we'll manage to find some clues about how it happened, too.
That's my lucky scarf. When's the last time you saw it? This morning, on my bed. You have a stalker.
Okay. Pile of algae. Rabbit, shoe prints, ham, saber, 7 seconds. I think I'm going to be sick, Matthew. What in the world happened to that poor girl? It looks like she's been eaten. She was, by piranhas. What the? Don't be stupid, Ramirez. How could piranhas end up in Grimsborough Lake? But it was piranhas. That's all the students can talk about. Everybody says they saw piranhas jumping in the water going straight for Aaliyah's body. Matthew, you're right. The clues will help us untangle all this. Those shoe prints you spotted going to and from the lake look like a great lead. The footprints must have been left by our victim. They don't come back inland, which means the other prints must belong to her killer. I'm sure we can determine which kind of shoes the killer wore through our database. What do you think, Matthew? Shall we have a look? And this pile of algae you found, I think it's safer if you search through it. I'm still feeling a little queasy. Sheriff Matthew, thank heavens you're here. I need your help right now. Madison Springer.
Is an injectable prescription medicine that may improve blood sugar in adults with type 2 diabetes when used with diet and exercise.
6 hours. We're gonna get some stars. I'll be right back.
6 months ago, and I have checked every
Okay, I have 6 stars. Let's talk to Madison.
Donnie Spencer, my assistant.
Sheriff Matthew, am I ever glad to see you? That freak over there just tried to zoom in on my breast. You must do something about him. And hello to you too, Madison. I'm afraid Sheriff Matthew has got rather more urgent things to deal with right now, like investigating a murder. Oh, of course. First rush week, now this. It seems somebody is dead set against students having some much-deserved fun. One of those horrible fish bit me. Can you believe it? I guess life on the farm was quieter, eh? Mind you, we've already discovered your Amos... Don't you dare say the A-word around here, Officer Jones. I'm sorry, I shouldn't yell, but if people at the university learned the truth, I'd lose everything. I'm sure you understand, Sheriff Matthew, don't you? Hey, Madison, are those cops bothering you? Do you want me to take care of them? No, I'm okay. But thank you, Chad. You're very sweet. Look, Sheriff Matthew, I'm afraid I can't be of any help with your investigation, but you really should go see that camera creep. Who knows what he might be up to? The boy who interrupted Madison looked familiar, didn't he, Matthew? Hey, you're right. It's Chad Baker, the kid who became quarterback for the Grimsborough Quails after Troy's death. Let's go have a talk with him. Maybe he knew our victim. And I guess you better see who that camera creep is as well. Kurt Leary and Chad Baker.
Not much to go on. I traced the emails to a wireless cafe.
See what's up with Chad? Hey there, Chad. How have you been doing since becoming quarterback for the Quails? Oh, I've been doing great. Thanks for asking. The new coach says I've got good chances of being picked up by a major league team next year. Good for you. Now, Sheriff Matthews is investigating the murder of a certain Aaliyah Banks. Did you know her? Can't say it rings a bell. She mustn't have been a Quails fan. You do know there are other girls in college apart from the football fans, right? Yeah, but they don't care about football, so why should I care about them? Am I right? Charming. Well, thank you for your time, Chad. Sheriff Matthew might have more questions for you, so don't stray too far.
Maybe it's another place.
I know anywhere. I searched every inch of it.
Then why didn't you tell the police?
Better yet, why didn't you call me? It's a cold case.
Whoa, I can't believe there's been a freaking murder during spring break. I've been filming student parties for years, and I had yet to see that. You've been filming parties? Do you mean the students pay you for your services? Pay me? Dude, you mean you don't know who I am? Kurt Leary? Babes in bikinis? You never watch TV at night? Sorry, weird how staring at young drunk women does nothing for me. Did you know about those movies, Sheriff Matthew? Whatever. Too bad you took away the body so fast, though. Didn't even get to film it. Might have been able to sell the footage to the press or something. Look, this isn't a show. A young woman has been killed. Here's a picture of her. Did you see her today? Talk to her maybe? Film her?
That's enough.
Nah, can't recall seeing her. Mind you, she was partying in that kind of clothes. It's no wonder I didn't notice her. My viewers are interested in bikinis, like that bombshell over there. If they want to see buttoned-up shirts, they can look at their girlfriends. Ain't that right? No wonder Madison was enraged. That guy films women as if they were pieces of meat. Oh, I guess you're right, Matthew. Kicking him where it hurts won't make our investigation progress. Let's go before I lose my cool.
Hey, I didn't ask for this. The guy sent me the photo and wants me to see what he's done.
Take the shoe print now.
Make him famous without being caught.
The man killed my sister. I know it's the same guy.
Let me phone and get back in the damn car.
Ugh. Got it. It's 2. Aha, 16. A flip-flop print. Perfect deductive work as always, Matthew. Now we know those shoe prints you found on the lake shore were made by flip-flops, and really fancy ones at that. Oh, you got flip-flops too, Matthew? Aren't they lovely? They've been distributing them to everyone at the lake. Something tells me those flip-flops aren't going to be enough to catch our killer, Matthew, but they're a first lead. Let's examine the pile of algae. A piranha.
Disappearance, which suggests they were actually rats.
So what did you find in the algae? Oh my god, it's a piranha. You're so lucky it didn't bite you, Matthew. Look at how hungry it looks. Those crazy eyes are staring at me as if I was a burger. Yes, of course, you're right. We need to figure out what kind of piranha this is if we want to discover where it came from. Whoever freed those in the lake must be our killer. A look at the official state records on rare animals should give us our answer. With your keen eye, surely you'll be able to recognize that monstrosity in the records. Examine the piranha now.
That's what people say. You're riding high in April. Shut down in May.
Okay. There we are, 16. A red piranha. Oh, that didn't say much. Alright, so the piranha you found in the lake is a red piranha. Whoa, the records say that it's the most ferocious species there is. Aaliyah didn't stand a chance. It gives me the shivers. Look at those teeth. Anyway, thanks to you, we also know that all specimens of red piranhas have yet to be registered with the state. And the only piranhas in the region belong to Grimsborough University. There's probably a biology class that uses them. Let's go have a look at the university, Matthew. I think this is case 35. But if it's not, I apologize. Oh, 38. Okay.
Because more pig parents are turning to grain-free diets.
This must be the biology amphitheater. Oh, look at that fish tank, Matthew. And the blackboard. We're definitely in the right place. Let's have a look around, alright? And watch out for piranhas. Okay. Fish encyclopedia. Fish scooper. Okay, just a moment, folks.
I'll handle it from there. Go.
You're right. The killer must have gotten the piranhas from this fish tank. But how did they scoop them out without being hurt? Oh, right. I hadn't seen that fish scooper. Nicely spotted, Matthew. Let's have a closer look at it. And what about that book, the Tropical Fish Encyclopedia? Let's see what it says about piranhas. Oh, the page about piranhas has been torn away. You're right, there are indentations on the next page. I hope you brought your powder duster, Matthew.
She's not answering her phone. Where is she?
She wanted a drink and went to a meeting instead. Look, if it gives you any comfort, she's not too happy.
2 stars I need at least, so sit tight. Okay, it got me 6 stars. Let's examine the fish encyclopedia right now.
If you cooperate, and if you tell us the truth.
It's gonna take a while. There's one for each year of any living.
Aha!
Took them in clumps. Some years I didn't.
The missing page on that book about piranhas must have been about their feeding patterns. The annotations you brilliantly revealed are all about beef hearts and, live rats. And the student in charge of that lovely research is called... there's his name at the top of the page, Michael Fletcher. Surely he must have noticed his piranhas weren't in their aquarium anymore. Sheriff? I'm Michael Fletcher. I assume you're here for me. God, what the... Where did you come from? Anyway, yes, we were actually looking for you. Sheriff Matthew has got some questions for you. It'll only take a minute.
You're Maryland,
So you know about that?
and I'd like to know more. Whenever you're ready.
About the piranhas? Let's see what Fletcher has to say. Thank God you've come. When I called the police to report the theft of my precious fish, the man on the phone laughed. So I thought nobody would come to investigate. Actually we're here because your precious fish have killed a student, Aaliyah Banks. Killed a student? You mean my piranhas ate someone?
Was Annie Prud?
Yes, horrible, we know. This is fantastic! Oh, I knew it. I knew piranhas could eat a human being. I'm so happy I could cry. Could I see a picture of the body, please, Sheriff? I need to know exactly what kind of damage my babies were able to do. What the... Are you sure you're alright, boy? A woman has died and you want pictures? Well, it would be really be a great asset to my thesis, you see. I've always said piranhas are just as dangerous as they say in the movies, but everyone just laughs at me. Fish scooper right now.
In the criminal justice system, sexually based
Alright.
offenses are considered special
A pink substance.
The dedicated detectives.
Good job, Matthew. It appears our killer left a little souvenir behind when they used that fish scooper. Although I have no idea what that pink residue you collected could be. You're right. Hopefully Grace will know. Let's send the sample to the lab, Matthew.
The NEA just canceled my grant. 3 people in Missouri complained.
6 hours.
It comes in your funding.
And I will let these two run their courses. I'll see you for that. Alright, folks, we're back. I got the remaining stars, but I am going to be letting the autopsy run its course a little bit longer. Let's get the results of the pink substance from Grace. Matthew, the sample you collected from that fish scooper was a real lucky find. The sample was still fresh, which is why you could collect it. Half an hour more and it would have been impossible to take off that scooper. I broke the substance down into several molecules, and I can tell you it was composed of elastomer, vegetable oil, and lecithin. I'm sorry, is that supposed to ring any bell with us? I don't know about Matthew, but I've got no idea what you're talking about. Those components are at the base of one of the most popular kinds of candy, Jones. Bubblegum. Bubblegum? Oh, I haven't chewed some in years. Well, maybe you can ask Aaliyah's killer for a piece of gum when you arrest them, Jones, because they've definitely chewed some. Alright, I'll let this thing run its course a little longer. For now, this is Matthew. See you then. Alright, folks, we're back. Let's get the results of the autopsy before I go on to Chapter 2. Matthew, you must tell me more about those piranhas everybody's talking about. Have you caught some specimen? I would love to get a closer look at them. We're glad this makes you happy. Oh, sorry. Am I being weird again? It's just that from a scientific point of view, seeing what piranhas can do to a human body is, well, frankly, it's fascinating. So the piranhas really are the murder weapon then. But how could the killer know they'd attack Aaliyah? Or did they just want people to die regardless of who they were? Oh no, it wasn't a coincidence. There was a bruise on the top of Aaliyah's head, consistent with somebody knocking her out. And there's also a cut on her leg, or what's left of her leg. The killer drew blood to make sure the piranhas would attack her. I'm positive about it. So, this is a bona fide murder then, not a tragic accident or a random attack? Aaliyah was the one who was meant to be killed? Yes, the piranhas wouldn't just attack a human being without severe encouragement. The killer planned everything so Aaliyah would die. Alright, Matthew, let's regroup. What have we learned so far? We know Aaliyah was killed by piranhas, and that she was deliberately targeted by her killer. And we know the killer stole the piranhas from the universe. Save the lake. What the? Oh my god. Well, we'll have to unwrap this mystery in Chapter 2. Alright folks, it is Matthew. We are back playing Criminal Case on Facebook, Spring Break Massacre, Grimsborough, Case 38, in Elite Mode. Let's go to Chapter 2. What the? What happened? Matthew, are you still here? I don't get it. 1 second we were talking about Aaliyah's murder, and the next everything went blue. Such things wouldn't be needed if people just listened to me, but you lot only respond to provocation. You're the one who threw this paint at me? Sheriff Matthew, please handcuff that mad woman. You can't do that to me. I have a right to protest. You can protest all you want. Once I've cleaned the paint off my face, I'll have a serious talk with you later, miss. Ah, Sheriff Matthew, I was just looking for you. A word in my office, please? Jones, you could at least clean up before you come to work, you know. Oh, boy. So, how is your investigation on Miss Banks' murder going? Any leads so far? Well, we got several good suspects, and we know the killer was definitely targeting Aaliyah. They caught her before pushing her into the water to make sure the fish would attack her. We also know the killer stole the fish from the university. Matthew found the empty fish tank in the amphitheater. I see. What about the killer's path from the university to the lake? Have you checked the Oil Top gas station yet? The, gas station, sir? It's a well-known watering hole for students heading to and from the lake, Jones. But you knew that, of course. Of course. Matthew and I were just getting ready to go there, weren't we, Matthew? Let's investigate the gas station first. I'm going to be using the Dalmatian for a little while. Pretty much know where everything is. Ice cream. And dirty badge. King can say all he wants. I don't see how that gas station has any relevance to our What? You think he's right? Oh, I see. This cooler looks exactly like the ones we saw at the lake. Do you think there might be something interesting inside? And what about that employee's badge you picked up? There's so much grease on it, it's hard to decipher what's written. Want to take a shot at it, Matthew? Let me get some stars real quick, I'll be right back. Alright, I got me some stars. Despite the fact that I have limited amount of juice on my laptop, not my laptop, but my tablet. I gotta do this. Got it. Fish scales. Okay, the ice cubes and the beers I get, but what could those scales be used for? Fish cocktails? Oh, you mean... Alright, Matthew, we better get those fish scales to the lab. 24 hours. Alright. And the employee's badge. For you. Oh. 6J. Oh boy. OBDI. Alright, now I know the employee who dropped his badge is named 4U6J OBDI. Great, we'll go real far with that info. Couldn't they have used the person's name instead? Unless they're employing robots, but I doubt that they could afford them. You're right. The gas station must have declared their employees. Let's pop back to the lab and run this number through the state records. Six hours. And now let's talk to Taylor Kirby. Now, why in the world did you throw a pot of paint at me, young lady? Don't you know assaulting a police officer is a felony? You can only be heard through your actions, and I need to be heard. That party on the lake must be stopped. Students are polluting a precious natural resource with their empty cans and their pizzas and everything. They're treading on beautiful flowers with their flip-flops, like that Madison girl, as if they were nothing more than daisies. But I can't help but noticing that you're wearing flip-flops too. But I'm not using them to tread on nature. I'm sorry, but you do realize there's also been a murder there? Shouldn't that be more important? Sure, it's very unfortunate, but that mostly means more pollution. And do you even know how much damage the piranhas might cause? I can't believe they haven't all been captured yet. Well, that girl is a little intense, but she's at least right about one thing. Let's call up Ramirez and see how he's doing at the lake. Those fish must be caught. Yes, Officer Ramirez at the ready. Ramirez, what is the status of the escaped piranhas? Have they all been caught yet? Caught? But Sheriff Matthew said I just needed to make sure nobody got into the water. I can't catch the piranhas. Alright, don't freak out, just make sure nobody approaches the shore. Well, Matthew, I guess we'll have to take care of those fish by ourselves later. But for now, we must focus on catching Aaliyah's killer. You're right. Maybe we should go back to the amphitheater. That's where the killer took the fish. There might be more to find there. I only got myself 2 stars because of the fact that I have limited power on this thing. But by the time I film again, my tablet will be charged and ready to go. Notebook. There we are. Alright, let's see what we've got. This torn paper should be no problem for a puzzle fiend such as you, Matthew. Am I right? And about this notebook. Oh, there's the victim's signature on it. But the page she wrote has been torn. Do you have your dusting kit, Matthew? Because I think we're going to need it. Perfect, 16. The paper you found torn to pieces was actually a flyer for the prom queen election. I can't believe students actually campaigned for that title. Hey, but that's our victim on the flyer. So Aaliyah was competing for the title of prom queen, which means she was competing against Madison. Somehow I doubt she took that well. Let's go talk to her. About the victim's competition? Oh, you found one of those silly little flyers. Hers or mine? They all seem to end up torn to pieces. Madison, why didn't you tell us our victim was your main rival for the prom queen election? Main rival? You're saying this as if being the prom queen actually mattered. I thought you'd be dead set on winning that crown, actually. Please. Yes, I enjoy being popular, and yes, I do want to be the queen of the prom ball, just to see what it feels like, to shine, to be valued for your beauty and your charm. But do you really think I'd kill someone over this? I wasn't raised that way, Sheriff. This competition, it's all just like a gum bubble, inflated one moment and blown to smithereens the next. I didn't go for prom king, but I was senior luau king in my home state of Hawaii. Wow. So the notebook you found in the amphitheater was used by the victim to write a message to Michael Fletcher. The note reads, Michael, if you don't stop playing God right now, I'll have no choice but to report you to the dean. What you're doing is disgusting. Wait, but this means that Michael actually knew our victim. And they were clearly not buddies. Let's go bust his chops, Matthew. About the victim's threats. Hello again, Michael. Say, Sheriff Matthew was wondering about that note Aaliyah wrote to you. Why didn't you mention you knew our victim? I was so excited about it all, I didn't recognize her name straight away. Sorry about that. I didn't know Aaliyah that much anyway. She came to me at the end of a biology lecture. She asked me if I had some gum, so I gave her some. But I could tell she wanted something more. She seemed fascinated by my piranha, so I told her how I tried to feed them mammals, etc. I thought she'd be fascinated, but I guess she failed to see the scientific value of it all. Anyway, after that she kept coming to see me, demanding that I stop my experiments, as if I could stop working on my thesis. She really wasn't reasonable at all. And now the woman who wanted you to stop your experiments dies under the teeth of your very own piranhas. Well, it just goes to show science moves in unfathomable ways, Sheriff. Is it me or is Michael super creepy? If it was up to me, I'd have put him behind bars already. I mean, what if he decided to see if his babies could eat a whole human being? I'm sure giving them rats must have gotten boring after a while. I guess you're right, Matthew. We need more proof before we make such judgments. And you're right. We have gotten some useful information. If Michael offered some gum to Aaliyah, it means he chews some. I'll let these two run their courses at least. So for now, this is Matthew. See you then. Alright folks, we're back. Let's get the results of the ID number. And here we go. Sometimes it's nice to leave all the work to the computers. I've got your results, Matthew. The employee's badge you found at the gas station belongs to Chad Baker. Chad? I'm surprised he has a part-time job. I thought he spent his days training with the quails. Why don't we go ask him about this, Matthew? His job at the gas station? Oh, hi, Sheriff Matthew. Is there a problem? Do you want some gas for your police car? No, thank you. Sheriff Matthew was just wondering, have you been working here long? Nah, I just started a couple of weeks ago. I'm trying to save up money to invite Madison to the prom ball, and she's not a cheap date. I'll need a proper costume and proper shoes. It's not like I could come pick her up wearing those crummy flip-flops, you know. I don't think she would mind all that much, actually, but I'm sure you know best. Anyway, Chad, we're pretty sure the killer must have come through here on their way to and from the lake. Did you see anybody suspicious here today? Nah, I didn't see anything, sorry. I kinda took an extra long break to go party with Madison at the lake. So, I wasn't here a lot.
This program contains material that may not be acceptable.
Letters on the signboard.
Others offering their services.
I'll let the fish scales run its course a little longer. I'll see you for that.
Debt could help.
Alright folks, we're back. Let's get the results of the fish scales.
My experience with reaching out to
Thanks to the piranha you got from the lake, Matthew. Analyzing the scales you found in the cooler was a walk in the park. They definitely came from a red piranha. Wait, are you telling us you kept the piranha Matthew found in the lake? Why, I wasn't about to let a poor fish die, was I? Look how happy it is in its tank. I called him Brutus. Everyone around me is mad. That's the only explanation. Anyway, Matthew, you were inspired to take a look at the cooler in which you found the scales. The only way they got in there is if the killer used the cooler to transport the piranhas. It's quite clever, actually. If it wasn't for you, Matthew, nobody would have looked at it twice. But you know what? Your killer must have been strong, filled with water and fish. That cooler would have weighed at least 15 pounds. Your killer is definitely really fit. They must exercise often.
Find all the active brands that keep you going, so you can work out and about for life.
Well, Matthew, we already know two of our suspects fit the athletic profile. Madison is the captain of the cheerleaders, and God knows those girls are in shape. And as quarterback of the Quails, there's no doubt that Chad is strong. Now I just have to figure out who else among our suspects might have the strength necessary to carry that cooler. Sheriff Matthew, I've been looking for you everywhere. I need help. My camera was stolen. Yes, and? Sheriff Matthew doesn't take care of felonies. You'll have to speak with the appropriate department. But I need that camera back. It's got the entire day shooting on it. Look, there's something on the camera you'll really want to see too, Sheriff Matthew. If it's student's breasts, no thank you. I'm too old for these things. No, the camera. I'm pretty sure the camera filmed that girl's killer. Oh gosh. Two crime scenes to go. So we'll get to chapter 3 after this. Alright folks, it is Matthew. We are back. And we're now going to do chapter 3 of Spring Break Massacre. Look, I know I've got no proof, but I swear I think my camera filmed that girl's killer. Are you telling us that you witnessed Aaliyah's murder and did nothing to stop it? Whoa, no. No way I didn't notice what I was filming when it happened. I only realized it when checking up what I'd shot earlier in the day. Except now my camera's gone. Some punk stole it when my back was turned. I tried to catch up with them to give them a taste of my boxing training, but those damn flip-flops slowed me down. Just our luck. We'll have a good long talk with you later on. Later on, Kurt. You can count on that. But for now, let's have another look at the lake and see if we can find that camera.
I just saw a girl being dragged into a silver car. Make, model, I see. About the girl.
Even less. Name, number, address she gave the hospital, all phone. How's your partner? Just killing herself.
She took the call she sells and stuff. She got something from me.
Just give me a minute. Maybe she called him. I'll dump the hospital bills.
You think an acquaintance would?
That explains the 180. Big rapes are more likely to
So she calls him, says the cops are on the way.
He sweet talks her. Convinces her to let him pick her up. Makes sense.
Son has a little privacy.
Okay, let's see what we got here.
Security photos from the
hospital.
Beach bag.
She's got his hat pulled down, dark glasses, and nosy camera shot.
She doesn't. She's turned
Ah.
terrified. We know the ambulance picked her up.
The hospital faxed me over the ambulance run sheet. Driver left half of it blank, including the point of order.
Ah, yes, another underpaid, overworked civil servant.
Was it a city ambulance? Private company.
But that's the new scam clubs are running. They're hiring private buses to cart off the OGs. That's police involvement.
This girl had a club stamp on her hand, an elephant.
That's what I did. I don't know what else to tell you. She was passed out in the street.
What street?
Canal in Tribeca.
That's a big street.
Between Church and Varick.
Who called
Alright. Well, this must be Kurt's camera. Whoever stole it wanted to make sure he wouldn't use it again, and I can't blame them. Do you think you can fix it, Matthew? And we could have a look at that beach bag too. What do you think?
I promise we're taking you down.
So, one more time. Where's my bro?
I'm gonna do it right now.
I comply with all codes. Even this new pain in the ass, no smoking man, see?
The liquor board might be more interested in allowing your agents rolled out of here with alcohol poisoning.
I don't know anything about that.
You got your own ambulance waiting for them outside.
Wonder how many girls live here with GHB and daily drugs and take voluntarily.
I know folks have had people die in the time it takes to call 911. That's why I go that extra mile to protect my clients.
Just work out protecting this one.
Before you poured that girl into the ambulance last night, she was raped by one of your guests.
A hot spot like this has to have a VIP.
You'll need a court order.
Well, the girl that you allowed to be raped is missing, so I don't think we're gonna have any trouble getting that. Do you?
Roger, give that ID they found last night.
You knew who she was the whole time we were talking? That's obstruction, lady.
I just put it together.
You just put it together.
Jim, Mrs. Sterling. 21 strong resemblance to her.
It's the ID she used to get in.
What makes you so sure?
Cleaning crew found it in the same men's room stall where she passed out.
Men's room. I haven't been to a men's room since Daddy dragged us to Hong Kong. My Cantonese was still choppy. When was the last time you were at the air bar?
Oh man.
Never, but I hear it's fabulous. Do you mind?
Listen, just a light.
No, Stan.
You wash my formula.
Oh man, did that suck.
Vouch for that? My parents.
And as always, you restore Kurt's video camera as if it was nothing more than a kiddie puzzle.
My gift is a coma.
I just hope the data inside hasn't already been irremediably damaged. Let's see what Alice can make of it.
Was it a friend of yours? Is she a friend of yours? I've never seen her before. Really? Because she got into the air bar last night using your driver's license. You found it?
She lost.
When? Like a week ago, maybe 2.
12 hours.
Jenna's alibi checks out. Gallery puts her there until midnight.
I might speed it up later, but not right now.
And I did apply for a new license a week ago.
Which is about as long as it's been since you slept. Fume sniffs. Hey guys, got an interesting seems one of their patrons has a prior sex assault charge 2 years ago.
Who?
Brandenburg, aka Bone.
So what did you find in the beach bag, Matthew? This newspaper article is a few months old. It's about a protest against the destruction of a park. Taylor's on the picture. What a shock. She looks ready to kick ass. Hey, you're right. Next to her, right there, that's our victim. I had no idea they knew each other. Had you, Matthew? Let's go talk to Taylor. She should still be at the station.
Like in the old days when you had sex in the clubs?
Ramirez, where's Taylor Kirby? Sheriff Matthew needs to talk to her. She's right over there. She asked to go to the bathroom, but then she knocked me over and ran for the exit. You were beaten by a girl, Ramirez? Hey, she's stronger than she looks. I had asked for backup to keep her from escaping, and she spit her gum in my face. Such violence. Well, Matthew, what do you say? Shall we be brave and go face the woman who beat up Ramirez?
Cuz, excuse me, man. What made you think she was jailbird? Shorty she was hanging with? Who? Little honey,
About her ties to the victim?
Family's rolling in the bank, right?
I really don't have much time to talk right now, Sheriff Matthew. I've got to get back to the lake to pick it.
This girl was in the air bar.
The lake will have to wait, Taylor. Look at this newspaper article Sheriff Matthew found. You didn't tell us you knew Aaliyah. And?
We need to talk.
I barely knew her anyway. We did a few protests together, but she was too soft. Like, she didn't even care about most of it. I think she just went to those things so that it looked good on her resume. People like that sicken me. Isn't the protest the important thing? Who cares why she did it, as long as she took action against injustice? You seem to think we live in fairyland, Mr. Jones. Of course her reasons were important. What good can you make if you don't believe in what you're defending? No, believe me, Aaliyah was a fake. I severed all ties with her as soon as I realized that.
But your friend was raped. Now, what's her real name?
Chloe Dutton.
What do you last night?
No one. I wanted to dance. She didn't. And I got off the floor. She was.
Now let's find out what Kurt Leary has to say.
Where's that?
So, Kurt, about those images you filmed.
She wasn't in school today, was she?
Hey, about that, I'll get my camera back once you're done, right? I got big plans with that footage. You sincerely think we're going to give you back a camera on which the murder of a woman is recorded? Really? You mean you're not going to give it back to me? You can't do that. I need that tape, goddammit. I can't believe I have to deal with this kind of crap. I'm a real artist, you know. This whole thing gave me the idea I've been looking for. Spring Break Piranhas. It's going to be huge. Maybe Bruce Anderson could even play in it. Bruce Anderson? You sure don't doubt anything. Whatever, man. I know it'll be huge. Now, is there any gum in here? They won't allow me to smoke, but I can at least chew gum, right?
So she deserved to go?
That's not what I'm saying.
All I'm saying that this girl was raped and kidnapped and her family even noticed.
Look, Olivia, you've been at this for 3
Matthew, I'm stumped. We're still lacking evidence, and I don't know where to look next. The gas station? But surely you've already seen everything there was to see there. Alright, I'm not foolish enough not to trust your instinct. To the gas station it is.
No obvious ones are ligatures. Go by exclusion, I say driving.
Well, here we are. What should we look for, Matthew? Oh, come on. I know you already have an idea. The vending machine? Hey, good idea. That must be the only thing that hasn't yet been reviewed by your expert eyes.
No broken teeth. No petechial hemorrhaging of the gums. Wait, there's something down here. Some kind of business card? Please tell me this guy was stupid enough to leave his name. No. Yours.
So much tension.
Okay, let's see what we got.
It's the last stop before WWE Royal Rumble. SmackDown, Thursday night, only on USA.
Aha, dial pad.
My name is Devereaux. He's from CIA. A cultured badass. A relationship with Devereaux and Mason. I know his moves. He knows mine. He's one of the best friends. That's where the battle commences.
All your friends trying to kill you?
Oh, keyhole. Oh, there you are.
Saturday, January 30th at 9 on USA.
You were spot on as always, Matthew. There's blood on the vending machine's dial pad. Oh, and you're right. The only keys on which there is blood are the ones you need to press to buy gum. Ooh, this is getting exciting. Quick, let's collect a sample where the blood's still fresh.
Credit karma. Give yourself some credit.
Mr. King, what can you offer that your opponent can't? Oh, 10 nuggets for $1.49. Thoughts?
$1.49 for nuggets.
There's no debate.
3 of them.
10 golden nuggets for just $1.49. Only at Burger King.
Aha! 15.
This is
Great, now that we've got a good blood sample from the vending machine's dial pad. Now we've got a good blood sample. Let's get the blood of Grace, Matthew.
Virus is already inside you.
I'll let it run its course, and for now, and I'll get the results tomorrow. For now, this is Matthew. See you then. Alright folks, we're back.
Yes, my husband.
I know I took a little while because I had my school and work to do, so let's get the results of the camera.
didn't get to meet him because you had...
So, I had a good long look at the footage in the camera. There were a lot of scantily dressed girls in it, you know. We do know, but hopefully there was something more. There sure was. It's fleeting, but I managed to pause the video on one key moment. Look, Matthew. A zoom on boobs. Lovely. Oh, you're right, Matthew. There's someone in the background. And are those piranhas jumping at them? You're right. We can see the cooler at their feet. So this has to be Aaliyah's killer, and they got bitten when they freed the piranhas. Too bad those fish didn't bite their arms off, but at least now we know we're looking for someone with a bite mark on their body.
Since you've been killed, no dreams of rescuing people, but you have one rescue dream that seems to come up more than others.
And the blood? So, Grace, the blood Matthew collected from the vending machine belongs to Aaliyah's killer, right? Right? Not exactly, or rather, not entirely. Most of the blood you collected was actually piranha blood. The killer may have accidentally killed one during transportation. You said most of the blood. Please tell us the rest belonged to the killer. Yes, it did, but with the two bloods mixed up like that, trying to isolate white cells and get a good DNA sequence, it could take weeks. I know, Jones, you don't have weeks. Here's the best I could find in such a short time. Your killer has green eyes. That sounds quite impressive, actually. Thanks, Grace. You're the best. That's it, Matthew. We have all the pieces of evidence we need to put Aaliyah's killer behind bars. Let's go arrest that monster, Matthew.
Between 5 ferns for 200.
A young girl named Fern saves a pig from certain death in this E.B. White novel. Kyle.
What is Charlotte's Web?
Yes.
Ferns 400.
Ferns produce not seeds, but spores, which form on these, a fern's version of leaves.
Yep, it's Taylor Kirby.
Good, you're out of the hole.
5 ferns, 600.
The animated fantasy film Fern Gully is subtitled The Last of These Tropical Locales Where Ferns Thrive.
Taylor Kirby, you're under arrest for the senseless murder of Aaliyah Banks. What in the world were you thinking? No, you can't lock me up. I did it for the lake. The only time they listen is when people die. What other choice did I have? The lake is getting more polluted every day. Soon people won't be able to fish there anymore. I knew I had to do something to wake people up. So you decided to release the deadliest kind of fish there is into the lake? I thought if students got hurt, they wouldn't dare party around the lake anymore. Sure, the piranhas would harm the local fauna, but surely the authorities would catch them in time. I'd seen those piranhas in the biology amphitheater before. I knew they were ferocious, the most ferocious kind there is. I went there before class when there was nobody around. I picked them up with the fish scooper and I put them in a cooler. I was so afraid they'd die during the trip. But you didn't just want students to get hurt, did you? You wanted to set an example. It was all Aaliyah's fault. She shouldn't have been she should have cared more. I used to think she was like me, but she only cared about her reputation. Once she realized doing protests wouldn't get her elected as prom queen, she stopped helping me. I called her over at the lake to test her, to see if she would rally my cause, but when I saw the way she gaped when she saw the piranhas, I knew she would only scream for help, so I did what I had to do. You knocked her out, you cut her to draw blood, and you fed her to those fish. How could you? It was the only thing I could have done, and it worked. Now the students won't be allowed to party at the lake anymore. It'll be protected. I won. Miss Kirby, you stand in front of this court today to answer to the brutal killing of a fellow student, a young woman with a bright future. Do you have anything to say for yourself? No, Your Honor, there is nothing to add. I know I did the right thing. The only thing I could have done, I know it in my bones. May your bones learn the error of their ways in jail then. And may you realize that defending nature does not excuse committing crimes against the human race. I will try, Your Honor, but at least now the lake is safe. This is all that matters. Taylor Kirby, for the murder of Aaliyah Banks and the endangerment of dozens of students, this court hereby condemns you to 15 years in jail with no chance for parole. Court is adjourned. You know, Matthew, something felt strangely familiar in that trial. You agree? So it's not just me then, but what was it? It was like we'd already heard those same words before. Maybe the stress is getting to our heads. All those murders, it takes a toll on you, doesn't it? Why don't we go out for a drink, clear our heads? Are you in, Matthew? I'll buy the first round, promise.
At Associate Hawaii, we make changing your association management company easy for you.
They were exceptional in the transition. We put our budget together quickly.
Madison Springer almost made the cut. Chad Baker cleared when he doesn't chew gum. Kurt Leary, no bite marks. Michael Fletcher cleared from the start. It was Taylor Kirby. I'll see you guys for the additional investigation. For now, this is Matthew. See you then. Alright folks, we're back. We'll start the additional investigation of Spring Break Massacre. Sheriff Matthew, I have to say your investigation made quite a splash. Our victim may be swimming with the fishes, but at least your killer won't be able to do any more harm. And talking about fish, Sheriff Matthew, I'd like you to go back to the lake. Ramirez is supervising the retrieval of those flesh-eating piranhas, and he's clearly out of his depth. The divers are hard at work, but Ramirez has been complaining about members of the public trying to interfere with the process. I would really appreciate it if you could help him out. Oh, and by the way, Jones, last time you brought the patrol car back, it was with an empty gas tank and a ruined tire. Next time this happens, I'm taking the repair out of your pay. Whoops. Matthew, do you mind if we stop by the gas station on our way to the lake? We could have Chad fill the tank up and check out the car, please. Matthew, I'm glad I could catch you before you left. I have a favor to ask of you. You remember Brutus, my piranha? Well, I've been ordered to get rid of him, just because he's tasted human flesh. Everybody says it's not safe to keep him around. It's just completely unfair, and I know they think I'm going to kill him. But there's no way I'll harm little Brutus. He didn't even know what he was doing. He was just hungry. No, I intend to bring him back to his rightful owner, the student in charge of the research. I know you know him, so I thought maybe you'd like to come with me.
That's right.
Books 2000.
Let's shoo Kurt Leary away first. Sheriff Matthew, thank God. Chief King has put me in charge of the piranha retrieval, and now I'm having to supervise everything, and the guys keep bringing piranhas to me because they think it's funny when I yelp. And to make matters worse, this Kurt something has been pestering me. He keeps trying to film the crime scene even though I've told him to go away. Please, Matthew, I'm tired. I hate piranhas, and this guy is rude with me. Can you take over, pretty please? Don't worry, Ramirez. We'll handle Kurt, won't we, Matthew? He's right over there. Let's go talk to him. Hey, Sheriff Matthew, good thing you're here. They won't let me film the crime scene even though the investigation is finished. Can you help me out? Actually, we're here to tell you to scamper away, Kurt. There are no more girls in bikinis around here. So what in the devil are you trying to film with that new camera? I told you I got bigger plans now. I'm taking shots for Spring Break piranhas, and I've noticed something strange. Right next to where the body was, but I can't get a closer look. What are you blabbering about? Sheriff Matthew inspected the entire crime scene. We've already found everything strange there was to be found. I'm telling you, there's a weird drawing right over there. Looks like some kind of modern art crap. You won't make me believe that's the right place for something like that. I don't believe you for a second, but Sheriff Matthew's more lenient than I am. We'll go have a look at the shore. Don't move an inch from here until we're back.
What is red? Color, sorry. Roy G. Bibb for 1200.
Answer there.
Alright.
She has a commanding lead, but you can get a lot closer than you are.
Let's make it a true daily double.
Why not? 13,600. Here's your clue. This
Okay, let's see. Where is this drawing?
apparent to the Dutch throne.
Yep.
What is the Blue Prince?
The Dutch throne, Prince Orange. Okay, we got them again.
Okay, 16 Roy G. Bibb.
The Sanar Dam in Sudan impounds the flow of Nile. Sarah, go again.
Roy G. Bibb 2000.
Frank Sinatra covered this
All right.
emotional Duke Ellington composition in 1955.
Well, I'll be. Kurt said the truth. There was a drawing on the crime scene, but it's not art. It's that test psychologist you do to see if you're crazy. This one looks like it's two dwarves clapping hands, don't you think? Oh, you're right. The exact name is Rorschach test, Matthew. Now that I can see it, it reminds me of something. Maybe we should have a closer look at it.
2008. 9 9-year-old Shannon O'Hanlon won the Scream-alike contest named after her. Sarah?
Who is Faye Ray?
Yes.
1,200 screams.
Corey Taylor of metal band Slipknot provided the roar of an alien war.
But I have all the stars, so I'm good to go.
1,600 scream sounds.
Shelley Duvall loudly indicates her displeasure at the imminent arrival of Max Barry Nicholson in this film.
Some people just need a little
Scream
push.
shouts 2,000.
Donald Sutherland.
There was a message in the test. What does it say, Matthew? Some people just need a little push to do the right thing. The right thing? You're right. It's what Taylor said about killing Aaliyah. That it was the right thing to do. But she can't have written that. I agree, Matthew. I can't shake the feeling that we've seen another Rorschach test before either. Well, there's a way we can check that, at least. All the pictures taken during investigations are saved in our central database. Alex, see if we photographed another one of those tests before.
2,000 synonyms?
This synonym for glee is found in the title of an Edith Wharton novel.
Okay, 12 hours.
Sarah,
What is mirth?
House of Mirth, you are right.
Let's take
And just
Wales
before I go on,
please.
one thing, folks, I need to check. Okay, I got that thing taken care of. Let's talk to Chad now. Oh, hello, Sheriff Matthew. Can I help you? Yes, actually, it's about our police car. We need a gas refill and maybe a little revision. I think the brakes are a bit loose. All right, of course. I'll take care of it. It's nice to help you without being suspected of murder for once, Sheriff Matthew. Yes, you seem to be adjusting very well to this part-time job. I hope it pays enough for your big plans. By the way, have you already asked Madison to the prom? No, I still haven't quite gotten to it, but we got really close, so I already bought the flower corsage I'll give her for the ball. It's beautiful, just like her. I put it right there, I'm sure of it. Oh no, I lost it. What am I gonna do? That corsage cost me $40. Well, Chad, you may be the best at football, but nobody's better than Sheriff Matthew to find the unfindable. Have a look at our car while we search for that corsage, okay?
Do you like games?
I do. A blind date. It comes up every game. There are innocent people here.
She just earned the bomb.
Just about daddy issues. Criminal minds. Then, don't miss the first episode of the year. She can't be good. Forgot. Cold blood after good lives. See this tonight.
Aha.
Take you out of the game. This product is inside all the underneath the jar. The answer, what is a BD?
Category for today is with religion. Here is the clue, ladies and gentlemen. From a well-meaning tradition, this has been 30 seconds, ladies. Good luck.
Okay, let's hit this. Matthew, I'm hungry too, but we can't steal a chocolate bar from this cart. Come on, we can Oh, you're right, I'm sorry. Chad's corsage could have fallen into the vending machine stocks when he refilled it. Let's have a look at it.
And you can use photos like I did here.
Alright,
Right now at 5, the best things for
examine the candy cart.
jellyfish gets you hot water, cold water, urine. Scientists weigh in. Feel the heat. 2015's weather turns out to be
17.
gas price plunge. So where will this
Uh-oh, looks like Chad's corsage didn't like being thrown in this cart. It's a pity you could only gather a bunch of flowers and pearls. It seemed very pretty. You want to repair it, Matthew? But those flowers seem so delicate. You'll need to be even more careful than usual.
Truths. KI TV Island News at 5 starts now.
Some good news. That gas prices continue to fall. Anything and I'm they're low here, but even lower across the country. Maybe a lot lower. In parts of Michigan today, drivers saw prices under $1 a gallon. Thanks to falling gas prices, it's not as painful.
Oh, boy.
Daryl Frost had to fill her up.
prices since early 2009 was the last time we were in this range. So the big elephant in the room is crude oil. It's dipped under $30 a barrel, and it's getting passed on to the street.
But some are wondering why the prices are dropping even faster in other parts of the country, like Sam Pugh, who's visiting here from New York.
First time coming to Hawaii, first time here and everything, and I was surprised that the gas prices were much more than they were in New York. $2 there. In some parts of the states, it might be less than $2.
Oh God, this is.
I feel you guys over here.
He's right. According to AAA, the national average for a gallon of regular unleaded is $1.86.
There we go, 7.
You can't compare Hawaii to other parts of the country.
You proved me wrong once again, Matthew. You managed to recreate a lovely flower corsage from the mess you found in the cart. I bet it's even prettier than when Chad bought it. Let's bring it back to him. He'll be so relieved.
Robinson says some of the taxes fluctuate, but right now, Hawaii consumers are paying about 45 cents per gallon in state and county taxes, and another 18 cents a gallon in
Give it back to Chad.
And while the price of
You found my flower corsage, Matthew. And it looks even better than I remembered. Thank you so much. That's Sheriff Matthew for you. Everything they touch turns to gold. But you still have some time before prom night. Aren't you being a little early with this corsage? I know. I'm being very optimistic, but I'm sure it's going to be okay. I mean, Madison and I are really getting closer, and she's being so nice to me. I really think she'll say yes when I ask her to the prom. I meant the flowers, Chad. They're going to rot before the homecoming ball even starts. Oh, that. Don't worry, I met some guy when I bought the corsage. He's some kind of doctor, and he gave me advice so the orchids will hold until the ball. Anyway, I'm done with your car. In case you want to take a swim when the lake is cleared from its piranhas, here are some nice swimsuits. Please take them as a thank you for the corsage.
Applauded Lopresti's efforts. One of his bills would also prevent third parties from gaining remote access to private.
And let's give Brutus back. Hello, Mr. Fletcher. My name's Nathan Pandit, and I work with Sheriff Matthew. I'm here to put Brutus back into your capable hands. Brutus? Who's Brutus? Sheriff Matthew, I'm sorry, but I don't really have time for... Wait a second. I know this piranha. It's one of my babies. Thank God for small mercies. At least I get one of them back. Now I'll be able to continue my thesis, and with what happened at the lake, I've got a lot to do. Thank you for bringing him back. I didn't have much of a choice. Everybody wants Brutus dead because of the accident at the lake, but I just couldn't. I guess it's time to say goodbye. I'll miss you, buddy. You did the right thing, and hey, you can come see Brutus whenever you want. Actually, do you want to feed him one last time? There are some guppies in a bowl over there. Why don't you both fish some out? Investigate the amphitheater.
Yet another big El Nino swell rolling into the North Shore this winter season, and today the lifeguards are busy. Visitors just in awe as those surfers prepare to paddle out. Ocean safety officials say the waves this morning were in the 15 to 18-foot range and rising. Most North Shore beaches were closed to swimming and signs were posted. As for the surfing of those big waves, now the best can be done when visitors at Sharks Cove were treated to a spectacular display of what Mother Nature can do, and there is much more to come.
You get the waves here on the North Shore with it and come out right now. So, yeah, it's fun to come out and see them, even though I live in Hawaii. This is different than what I normally see.
Since the beginning of January, just no there'll be another swell, I think, Sunday, another swell.
Fishbowl, okay.
Next week.
They urge beachgoers to be wary of potential danger and encourage them to learn about hazardous conditions on land and in the water. Always check with a lifeguard before you go out. As those huge waves move
Well done, Matthew. This little bowl is full of guppies. Just let me grab a little cup or something so you can take one or two fish from it.
Well, on the surf side, that very large northwesterly swell is peaking and will slowly drop.
And let's examine the fishbowl.
Until tomorrow morning. Meanwhile, a cold front that is moving down the island chain will continue to rain.
3 of them.
And a few showers in Maui County
Alright.
this evening. Now, after a boost to the winds today, those
Alright.
are expected to remain from mainly the northerly direction, 10 to 15 miles an hour.
Perfect job, Matthew. It's amazing how easily you fished those guppies from Michael's bowl. Oh, don't make that face, Matthew. I know it's a bit sad to use such lovely guppies as piranha food, but that's the way nature goes. Personally, I can't wait to see how Michael will proceed to feed the guppies to Brutus. It's going to be very interesting.
Check of our forecast for this evening. We're looking at mostly cloudy conditions for most of the state with the exception
Okay, let's give the guppies to him.
a few overnight showers, but those again.
So, is Brutus happy to be back in his tank? Sheriff Matthew fished a few guppies. Is it going to be enough? Should we bring some? Should we bring more? Are we just going to drop them in the fish tank? Is Brutus very hungry? Brutus is perfectly fine. Don't worry. As for the guppies, I'll just release them in the fish tank and he will hunt them down. You will see, it is quite exciting. I bet it is, but I will really miss him. He seemed to enjoy being in my lab so much. He was a great listener, too. Trust me, I know how you feel. Piranhas are such endearing creatures, but you can come back here whenever you want, and I could use a hand for my thesis with most of my dear piranhas gone. Sheriff Matthew, I hope you will also come visit us. Please, have these gift vouchers as thanks. Maybe this will inspire you to start your own aquarium. 18,000, cool.
Douse the area with vinegar. Over-the-counter products were tested as well. Lidocaine, ethanol, and isopropanol. All were found.
Alright, I'll see you guys then.
According to the study.
Alright, folks, we're back. I'm going to go ahead and speed this up. For 11. Whoa, Matthew, I can't believe you found a Rorschach test on a crime scene. That's so exciting. Personally, I think it shows a mask, but I bet you thought it looked like ice creams or something, didn't you, Jones? But anyway, I got even more exciting news. I searched the entire archives, and this isn't the first time such a test was left on a crime scene. I knew it, Matthew. I knew you were onto something. On which crime scene was there another Rorschach test, Alex? On which scenes, you mean? There were two of them. First on the campus grounds where that sorority pledge was killed by her own sister. The second one was in the library where you found that student hanged. Wait a second. I just got something. You're telling us there were Rorschach tests on those two crime scenes and we failed to notice them at the time? Well, that's what's so clever about it, actually. You had no reason to pay attention to such a piece of paper unless you were actively looking for it. The killer did not want you to notice them straight away, I think. So, what does this mean? I mean, Matthew caught the killers in all these investigations. The proof was rock solid. We know we've got the right criminals. Were they accomplices? I very much doubt it. No, I think what you have here, Matthew, is the proof that a serial killer is on the loose in Grimsborough. A serial killer who uses other people to kill. What's more? A serial killer? Oh my God! Oh my God, Matthew, imagine the panic if the media get wind of this. We must make sure that Kurt doesn't talk about this drawing to anyone. Let's go. Okay, let's make sure Kurt doesn't talk to anyone. So, Sheriff Matthew, you spent an awful lot of time searching the place and then vanished. I bet you found something. Was it the drawing I saw important? Was the drawing I saw important? Had you missed a vital clue? Can I film it? Now you're just being ridiculous. Sheriff Matthew never misses any clues. Do I need to remind you that we've already put the murderer behind bars and she confessed her crime? Whatever. I'm so sure you found something. Coppers always lie and the public... Sheriff Matthew solved the case. End of topic. We just lost hours looking for an imaginary drawing and we're not in a good mood. Too bad. We were going to let you film the piranha's rescue. Oh, I wasn't implying you didn't do your job properly, Sheriff Matthew. Everyone knows you're awesome in what you do. This city owes you... Alright, cut it out. Just tell the officer in charge that Sheriff Matthew has allowed you to film everything, alright? Now get out of our sight. Thanks, Sheriff Matthew. I owe you one. Say, why don't you join me for lunch break later on? I make a pretty awesome burger, you know. And I'll get an extra OJ. So that will do. And as you can see, I am ranked 2nd on this crime scene. And that will do, and I will see you guys for the next case, which will be the next one in the World Edition.